So from your two prior films, Redemption and The Wait, can you tell us about the coverage and getting your shots? I mean, do you tend to get shots in just one or two takes, or what's your style? You're a perfectionist, you said. So.
Well, it depends on the situation, but with The Wait, it was
that was a lie.
That was a real learner, because that's the real story, was The Wait, because you want to see a classic amateur starting out as an amateur, and then you know, my good friend Pete Villani and the DP, he's going to be the DP on Amber as well. He turned around and said, "Chris, when you started this, it was 2 days now. He said when you started this, you were about as raw as an amateur could get, but he was just like, now you're about as close. You get real close to professional." And he was just like, "I saw you grow in 2 days," and you know, since then, you know, we've been adding a lot, but one of the biggest things that I learned in shooting The Wait was you have to be able to shoot sections at a time. Like, I really learned about lighting and how long it takes to properly light a set in order to shoot. You know, in planning to shoot, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll shoot this section and shoot this. I was gonna actually try to shoot the short film linearly. Like, he does this, then he walks over to here, and he does this, and then he turns around in the room, and he walks over here, and he does this, and the crew just, and it was just like, I didn't understand why. And then after the first time that we did a set, I was like, whoa, it took him 45 minutes just to light that one shot. And then it was just like, okay, now we're gonna do this shot. We just took another 45 minutes to re-strike everything and move all the lights, and then now do this side of the room. And then I kind of did that 2 times, and then I said, everybody stop. We got the shot, and I said, don't do anything. And I took a half hour out, and I redirected everything so that we were shooting situationally. You shoot one wall first, and then everything happens. And then luckily The Wait was in one room, so it was easy for me to learn this. You shoot one wall first, do all the coverage you need for that one wall. Go to the next wall. Now you do all the coverage you need for that one. And that way you can get the most with your lighting setups without striking and have to reset up and strike and reset up. And that would have killed the shoot. We would have never gotten the project done in 2 days. It would have never happened. I think that was the biggest thing I learned right out of the gate as a filmmaker, because I immediately saw, if we go at this pace, we won't even get halfway through in one day. And you know, I typically shoot in 2 day, you know, bursts. So that was the biggest thing that I learned.
What are some of the non-technical things that you've noticed that professionals do? Yeah, I know you said being detail-oriented is very important to you. What are some of the things you've picked up on that you see that's non-technical that makes
as a director, the one thing I'm learning is subtleties, as how to communicate with the actor. I don't think there's any set way to do that, because every person is different. Everybody's going to resonate to, you know, something that you say differently. So I think the main thing for that was relating with my actors, and I think that was the biggest thing. And I learned a lot even working with Angel, because I understood Angel well. You know, you know, starting out, he's performing it in a certain way, but I see the character expressing himself in a different way. But I don't think you should tell an actor how to perform. As a director, I should just implant the seed, the emotion, so that they can find the choices that lead them to where I want them to be, and then they feel like they've organically ended at the same place where now that's where I wanted you to be. So it was to me, that's the intangible in filmmaking. To me, it's like, you can be as there's books and textbooks for a lot of things and stuff like that, but I don't think there's a textbook for how to, you know, relate with your actors. That's something that you know, as a director, you have to grow with and learn, and you know, take each project and each person, you know, as they come.
So not micromanaging them. You kind of let
no,
them flow.
I don't. I think if you micromanage them, then they're looking at me for all the direction. Like, is this right? Is this right? Or is this how you wanted it? And I don't think, you know, I want that from an actor. I want an actor to be like, that's it. And they know they spoke for their character properly, and I got what I wanted too, and I try to just put the seed in them. And I say, hey, this point of the film, and this is what the character's feeling, and try to just give them the linchpins emotionally to get them to you know, perform. And then that way they can take their own choices and lead them to the same place. And to me, that's the most organic way to get an actor and a character to come to life. Because if an actor's questioning themselves in their mind, then those questions, you'll see that in the character, and it's not a true commitment to the character if they're asking questions.
Because I remember when we was working on The Wait, I kept messing up. I thought I was messing up. He just took me to the side and told me one thing: do this, do that, and then I was like, all right, cool. And then I found myself in a moment after that. He just told me one thing, and I'm like, okay. So he's a pretty good director. That's why I love working with him.
So Angel, for you, you like a director that just kind of just gives you one little message and
Yeah.
you take it from there.
Again, from fighting, when you fight and you go to the corner, I mean, basically we kind of like trained soldiers. So you sit down when you're fighting, all you see is your opponent right next to you. You don't see nobody around. You don't see the crowd. You don't hear nothing. All you hear is that one person in your corner, which is the guy that's telling you, "Oh, you throw this, throw that." But you don't. You're like a trained soldier. So all you hear is your coach, and all you see is your opponent. Same thing in film. So when he talked to me as a fighter, like he used to box. So he was like, "Yo, you messing up. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this." I'm like, okay. After he told me that, and I wake up again, and I'm back on the scene. So.
Yeah, he's fool. I don't even say that much stuff. I'll say stuff like, every word that comes out of your mouth is heavy. And then he'll go back and he'll perform it completely different.
But you just tell me one thing, and then I wake up in a way. Just tell me one thing. I forgot what was it that you told me. Well, I can't say it.
It was pretty aggressive.
It was aggressive.
It was you know, you see
aggressive.
the way he's basically not necessarily torturing. There's a woman tied up.
Yeah,
you know, he's very angry. He's irate, so he's coming off really hard. So in the beginning of the film, I want you to get the feeling of this guy's torturing this woman. He's really aggressive. He has hate, real anger for her. And I just wasn't feeling it from Angel in the beginning. I'm like, I'm not feeling the angst or anything like that. And then took a break, walk over to him, and I was like, listen, this woman was trying to get your kid. They were going to kidnap your child. They were going to
rape her.
Fed a whole bunch of foul stuff in his mind. I said, okay, now action. And then then he came out. Then it was Reese Taylor after that, because then it was literally venom coming out with every word out of his mouth, and that's how we saw the character. So, and if anything, I should be the guide. You know, you speak with your actors, talk with them. You guys all come up with an idea of how you think the character should be and express themselves, and then I'm the one on the outside watching, and I just help guide them to what we both think should be.